Gonna do a test record. Now we're gonna do the video. Just select next, but I'll move to the next question. Okay.
What was the most valuable skill or experience that you got out of this project? Why?
So the most valuable skill that I got from this project was learning how to make something work from the sensor to contribute to the cause. So like how we're making the sensor to help out farmers into the fields. It was just trying to like build something that can contribute to the world instead of just something that just is technical.
What was the most valuable skill or experience that you got out of this project?
As I said, the most valuable skill is just learning how to also cooperate with other team members in such a big project, especially for a whole year, because you normally you would learn from other semester, just do a group for a whole semester, but doing it from a whole year, sticking with the same guys, it was a good team building exercise, and also just like I said, just building the right chemistry for this. So
Why? What was the most valuable skill or experience that you got out of this project? Why?
So another valuable skill that I got from this project was being able to work with someone in a professional, a skill.
What was the most valuable skill or experience that you got out of this project?
So what I got out of this.
Why?
So what I got out of this project, valuable skill, was learning how to cooperate with professionals, like working with a sponsor. It was very intimidating in the beginning because you wanted to be able to like make something what he wants, but make sure that you're professional about it because it's all about business, not about like a teacher-student relationship where you can kind of joke around or ask have fun with class. But with actual sponsors, you have to be really professional, and that's what we really. But what I learned from it was trying to talk to people because these people serves as an example of talking to customers and also even executives and so forth. All right, now question 3.
What was the most rewarding part of this project and why? What was the most rewarding part of this project and why?
So the most rewarding part of this project was, as I stated in the beginning of the quiz, is just being able to build something that contributes to something valuable in life instead of just making life just easier with technology. Just having with this pandemic going on, that food might be running out. Having something that contributes to farms who are trying to grow crops or produce for superstores and all that stuff. If I'm able to create something that can contribute to that, then I'd be happy myself because I'm making a difference in some people's lives, especially in this pandemic where food could be scarce later on if this keeps going on. So that's what I really liked about this project.
What was the most rewarding part of this project and why?
Sorry, I just keep watching videos because if I have any other statements I want to include it, for example, just being able to like be a part of a company like Solar that's just starting up. It just makes me think like how solar companies, start up, but also like how they're trying to make a difference in people's life. Like all the big companies, they're worrying about like what people want, but companies like the Solar like what I saw from them was they're trying to make a difference in people's lives, just doing the small things.
What was the most rewarding part of this project, and why?
And another rewarding thing from this project was like working with a great group of guys. Like like a guy like Jeremiah, who like yeah, I had my struggles in the project, but like he really motivated me to keep going well and just pushed me to like like not only work hard but also how to communicate with a team because like it was rewarding because I got to meet a lot of great people. It feels like this helps me when I go into this opportunity of business that I get to work with a great bunch of people and so forth.
What was the most interesting part of the project that you worked on, and why?
So the most interesting thing that I worked on the project was having the sensors actually connect to our hub. Like I found that it's very like when I worked in 456 in my project was that I worked with sensors that were just like it was just dealing with emotions and so forth. But coming to this one where we're actually taking in like biological things like data and actually store it.
What was the most interesting part of the project that you worked on, and why?
So yeah, what was interesting about it was just like how a little sensor can collect that sort of data and be able to program it. And not only that, like I was able to help store it, sample it, and store it to where, say, for example, that if the connection between the hub and the sensor, not the hub, yeah, the hub and the sensor breaks, and then like we're able to store that data and not just the amounts, but like the average of it because we're able to get the precise data of what's going on in the fields. Like what I liked about it was just that like how we're able to store it into data in storage instead of like just collecting, and it just doesn't like store. It just collects, and there's no like something to hold it. And what I was able to contribute was trying to have it stored into a persistent data structure.
What was the most interesting part of the project that you worked on, and why?
So like I said, like it was interesting that how I usually in compute like when we program 486, like when we collect data, it doesn't save onto something. It just like collects free flowings on all and over until we hit the end. But like how me and my team helped program the sensor was just that we're able to use persistent data. So in any case that we lose connection or like data that dies out, that the data is still saved and saved up as averages, and then sent back to the API, which I thought was very interesting.